Welcome back to Wargamer Shut Up and Gem Guide, and I've got Jind here, and we're going to talk a little bit about The Hobbit and why you might want to play it. And I can only really speak for my own experiences, but
Ours.
Well,
As West Coast Hobbits.
As West Coast Hobbits, that's right.
West Coast Hobbits. Yeah.
He still has this. I think that's actually pretty close to the same one you said last time.
It was.
But in any case, one of the that brings us back to the very, very first point, which is...
well, first of all, just before we dive in, I would like to thank everybody that watched last week's video. And thanks for all the comments and the suggestions. That was great, guys.
It would be the week before last video.
We're in time travel. We're in a TARDIS in here. Can't you see? Nothing ever changes.
That's right. Time has not passed.
That's right.
Except we're wearing different shirts.
Leicester. I'm getting me going again, mate.
We're not going to talk about soccer. Football.
Well done,
whatever.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
So, Steve, I would be an old hobbit.
Yeah.
You would be a young hobbit.
You're more of a Bilbo. I'm more of like an attractive Frodo.
Really?
Yeah.
You went for Frodo? Like, you wouldn't be Merry or Pippin? They were way better looking than Frodo. Frodo was disgusting. I hated him.
Yeah, but I'm a main character. It's fine.
Okay, fine. But really? You think, he doesn't have as many cool points as Merry and Pippin?
What did Pippin ever do? He kicked the freaking armor set down the well.
He watched his lord and master eat food disgustingly as Faramir was leading the knights to the death. And he sang a song. That was amazing.
Attractive Frodo, old Bilbo. All right. But in any case, so one of the big things about The Hobbit that really I started playing The Hobbit because mostly because you were like, you should check out The Hobbit, and I'm like, okay, we'll do that. We played a demo game. It was pretty cool. And I decided I'd pick up the Goblin Town.
Now, when did you start playing with us, Steve? How long ago has it been?
I don't know, maybe 8 months ago?
8 months ago?
Ish. I'm guessing. That could totally be a lie, but
yeah.
But the one thing that so we picked up that stuff, and then I picked up a couple extra boxes of goblins. I picked up some captains and stuff, and I made 1,000-point army for an event you're running, a tournament.
That's right.
At the end of the year, painted requirement, freaking 1,000-point event.
Yes.
And
was you fully painted, Steve?
I was pretty close.
Almost, with a little loan from some friends.
But to be fair, I had 101 models in my army. So like mine was the
He painted almost an entire Goblin Town in like a couple of weeks, and they were amazing.
It was pretty good.
They were amazing. They were well done.
Yeah, some people really liked them. That was
because they were good. Yeah,
I guess. But one of the things I did notice is that the community, like at least here with my exposure to them, was really inviting, really accepting. So, you go to this tournament.
In what way? Compared to, say, some of your other experiences with the groups there, what are some of the standout points that you found this community more, say, accepting than others?
So I think one of the interesting things was that, a lot of communities will, if you have a new player, will want to teach them how to play. They want to kind of get them involved.
Right.
However, with the Hobbit groups, it felt a lot like they were really happy to have new players. Like everybody was excited. Everybody wanted to play. It wasn't a matter of like, oh no, we have to teach the new guy how to play. It was more like,
you ever been to Wales?
No.
You ever been to what's a really dismal out there place in the BC? Some village that's like hundreds of miles away from here that no one ever goes to. 100 Mile House.
Sure, that sounds about right.
Okay, someone pulls into town. It's a new guest. Oh my God, you're going to love talking to this person because you haven't spoken to anybody new your whole life. And now there's this guy coming in and you don't even know his name or his father's name or his father's name.
But by the end of the day, you will find out.
And that's kind of like Hobbit players. We don't get that many new players all the time. So we love it when people come in.
Well, that's the thing. Like there were people that were just really happy to be playing the game and really happy to include other people. And that was really nice because it was labeled as a tournament, so to speak, right? But it wasn't that kind of standard serious face, we're going to crush everybody kind of tournament. It was like, hey, we're here to play a bunch of games. That's called a tournament. Mm-hmm. So that was nice.
And I'm going to elaborate on that because it's not just the West Coast Hobbits. I won't sing the song again. But you'll actually find in a lot of the Hobbit communities worldwide. So in England, we extend England, Poland, Germany, so pretty much Europe, Canada. There's lots of divisions across Canada, America, New Zealand, South Africa. Like there's communities worldwide. And these guys really come together. They really look out for one another. There was a poor fella in England passed away not too long ago from a heart condition. And you should have seen the way the worldwide community rallied round and just showered all the love and respect. And it was just amazing to see that, right? So there's a huge community. I'm not sure why our game, above all the other games, has such a strong sense of community, but I'm just so glad that it does.
Well, absolutely. And I mean, and that's the thing. It's like, I don't have to worry, like, at least comparatively speaking to some other games, I don't feel like I have to worry that the guy that I'm going to play against is a total asshole.
Right.
I'm more concerned about, like, do I remember how to play the game at all, because I'm a very new player.
Right.
And that's nice that the focus is, like, not on just having to worry about community elements. So
there you go, guys. Reason one why you may want to consider trying out The Hobbit is we've got a fantastic community. International scene. We have an international scene. There's a whole bunch of us going over from all over the world to take part in Audicon coming up later this year in October. And there's Team Canada. I'm in Team Canada, right? And the great thing about the international scene is not only is the international scene very well developed, but community. There's a fella in England who's putting up almost 20 of us at his place for free. He's just going to take us on. And he's never met a single one of us other than, say, Facebook or on videos. And you know who you are. You're a legend, right? But yet, that is the fantastic thing about this hobby, is like, it's a sense of family and inclusiveness. There's no exclusiveness to this hobby. It's very inclusive. I love it.
Well, and I think that's the number one biggest thing that a game can have going for it. Like, as much as we want to, complain about rules and mechanics and stuff like that, not necessarily with The Hobbit, but in general.
There's some rules I want to complain about in a bit.
if you don't have quality people to play with, it's not worth playing the game. So, there's that. I mean, I think the number 2 rule though is obviously because it's Lord of the Rings. Like,
it is. Who doesn't want to be Theoden or a Balrog or Frodo?
No. The Goblin King right here.
Okay, fair enough, mate.
Let's get it right.
So, it's a really strong IP, guys. I mean, for if you're watching this video, you've obviously either read the films. Probably not. If you're deaf, you would have read the films.
Fair.
Watch the movies. Read the books.
Read the books, right? Listen, you probably could listen to the audiobooks.
That's right. But anyway, the lore is fantastic, right? So we're not going to go into it because it's Lord of the Rings. I mean, if you don't know by now, go to the library, get a book. It'd be amazing.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And for a lot of us, it's our first kind of introduction into what high fantasy is, and it defines all of those races and roles and stuff like that. So to play a tabletop game with a visual representation of that is fantastic. And I mean, it really is. It fills that void that, like, that sort of super fantastic kind of look a lot of other games have. Can't really, like, they don't replicate that quite so well.
So that's point number 2 of why you should try out The Hobbit, because it is The Hobbit, is Lord of the Rings. Why not? It'd be amazing. So this takes us to point number 3. Steve, being the newest Hobbit at the time, do you know what? Actually, you've got the pleasure and distinction of being our first official recruit to the West Coast Hobbits who was not a SBG player prior to coming in.
Really? So I'm the very first...
You are the first...
non-SBG player to become an SBG player.
You are the first official West Coast Hobbit recruit.
Fantastic. Yeah. So I am really the
prototype.
The prototype, okay.
Prodigal son of
the...
Protege.
Sure.
Mark 1.
Okay. And the thing is, like, when I was learning the game, one of the things I did...
How long did it take you?
I don't know, 5 or 6 seconds.
Right.
It really wasn't that long.
Exactly.
Really, the biggest thing was trying to remember what my stats were. That was it.
Right.
But the game mechanics are very simple and easy to understand, which is nice.
And yet, the thing I like about it, it's easy to understand, but it takes time to master.
I agree with that, actually. I think that when you start looking at, like, what your potential options are, gameplay-wise, it definitely opens up.
Yeah.
The one criticism I have, though, is that bigger games are not more fun than smaller games, at least for me. We played that 1,000-point tournament, and I never want to play another 1,000-point game.
The Hobbit plays well between 250 to 750 points. It's a great game. And then what happens is when you go beyond 750, you're just adding more models and dice rolling, but you're not adding anything to the experience of the game. So let's take about, say, for example, 40K. You can play 40K up to a certain level, but then as soon as you take it beyond a certain level, you introduce new rules, new mechanics, changes the game. Nothing changes at a bigger scale other than just the time and effort it takes to play it. So fully understand. Like, that's why you don't really see too many 1,000-point games out there.
Also, I felt like Goblin Town was maybe a little over-tuned for a large game because I'm running 4 monsters and a million goblins.
He had Bilbert, Tom, Goblin King, maxed out captains, goblins. It was disgusting.
Yeah, actually, I won all my games except for one too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like I think for me, 300 to 500 points is like the sweet spot where it's a fun game. It doesn't take forever. You can make meaningful decisions.
I'd agree.
And it's just great.
So that's point number 3 is the rules. It's dead easy to get into, but you will have years and years of fun of really learning how to master the rules. For example, the reason we got this here is because this, in most games, is just an abstract piece of terrain. In strategy battle, this now becomes a door to defend. You can now climb up and down various levels. It becomes very immersive. It's almost like D&D, but with models and some dice, because this really, even this fence, you can climb over it, jump, you can trip over a fence as a part of the rules. So I think that is also a fantastic reason why Hobbit.
I also think another thing though about the model count specifically is because the game works so well on a smaller model count, you don't have to buy a million things.
Yeah, that's actually, it was going to be 0.5, but we'll just dive in there right now. You don't need that much. Like 350 points, you can buy directly from Games Workshop without even going to an independent retailer and buy full price, and you can get yourself a 350 point army, which will last you forever. $100 to $120. Obviously, Goblin Town, the Horde armies, you'd be spending a bit more. I'm talking the average.
I actually think Goblin Town was less expensive, although Bilbert and Tom was a pricey addition.
Yeah, but they're 450 points for free trolls for $100.
Yeah.
And they're a legal army.
That's true.
Right. So what I'm saying is, like, if cost is cost is great. So I did a study. I worked out a lot of 350 point lists, averaging between $100 to $130, which is not a bad price point to get into a hobby.
That's true. And also, I mean, like, let's say you went the route of the dwarves from the 2-player starter box.
Yeah.
That's more than enough to play forever, pretty much.
$150, you get a rule book, you get over 1,000 points of good heroes, you get about 350 points of Goblin Town, you get some terrain. You know, it's not bad. Now, the other thing is, this takes us back to time, because time is money, right? I've just had a kid 2 years ago. Time is precious. I love this hobby because with my other hobbies, I'm painting hundreds of models. Now, 24 to 30 models, I'm done.
But in a couple of years, you can enslave her and get her to paint for you.
All the way, every day. Everyone knows girls make fantastic painters. I can't wait for her to start painting for me when she gets older.
And then she's going to start beating you in the games. You know
I don't mind, mate. If it means we're going to tournaments together, father and daughter.
That'd be amazing.
Gina, it'd be amazing. Babes, if you watch this video in years to come, yeah, it'd be wicked. But yeah, no, collecting. And actually even the models, Steve, a lot of people enjoy the true scale of the models versus heroic scale.
I think the true scale is awesome. I think that most of the sculpts are fantastic. I think the first generation of stuff is a little dated.
Well, yeah,
I mean, that's to be expected.
They're old, right? But if you look at, there's a lot of charm to them too.
I'm excited for when Forge World releases the next set, because the models that really impressed me, actually, you know, the armored Thoradin's company? Those models I love.
And they released a sneak peek of work in progress of Dane, and they go that it far surpasses anything that's been sculpted today.
I totally believe it.
Right? Because Forge World, like, guys, if you don't know what Forge World is, just go to Forge World website and just check out the Christmas of the models. It's amazing.
Yeah, so it'll be pretty great.
So why else would we play this game? And I think one is balanced gameplay.
I think the game is really well balanced. At least from my interaction with the various armies I played against. I felt that obviously playing Goblin Town that my guys die a lot easier than everybody else's, but I never felt like I was terribly outmatched in terms of like models.
And I think that comes down to the fact that they were very intelligent in the way they wrote the 6 main scenarios.
Well, I should revise that. I think that some of the scenarios
favor and
favor certain army compositions,
which is great because Goblin Town will do great in some games, holding objectives if you have to run guys off the board. But in games where you get points for killing models,
it's you basically
right.
I do kind of dislike that one in particular because it's a no-win scenario for goblins.
But that makes choosing a balanced army very important if you do want to be in a competitive scene, because now you know that there's going to be 1 or 2 games that you will just lose. And if you're going in with a competitive mindset, that's not going to happen.
I guess that's a good point. And I mean,
so I think that's maybe why when you go to tournaments, you don't really see that kind of cheese just because of the way the game mechanics are.
And also, again, at smaller points levels, you don't have enough points to necessarily bring that kind of cheese.
Unless you're Goblin Town.
Well, I mean, if you just run straight Goblin Town, yeah.
It's been said by a lot of people all over the place, guys. It's not just us two, the West Coast Hobbits. We're probably one of the newest game clubs out there. So it's not like we have thousands of years of gaming experience, right? But even if you look at other channels and other people, it is a very, very well balanced game system. Many people say, even those who are not fans of Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, they go, it's one of the most balanced rule sets that Games Workshop has ever made. A company
absolutely
famously quoted for, we are not a rules company, we're a model company. Well, here they make models and they made fantastic rules. It's utopia, right? It's an amazing system.
I just think that I hope that more people that play the other Games Workshop games give it a solid look when they come, when they release the next wave of stuff. Yeah. When they start doing the relaunch, because I think that the gameplay is there, the community is there.
The models are great.
You just need more 40K Fantasy or Age of Sigmar, I guess, players to look at it in terms of it being like one of the real core games, not necessarily as just like kind of a side game that some people play. And if we can do that, then we'll have just an amazing community for years to come.
And it's not all sun and sunshine there, because if you do want to get into the game, there are a couple of drawbacks. One is it's hard to get a hold of the model sometimes. Either they're out of print or the stores don't stock them, so you have to special order them in. The rule books right now for the armies they're not available, but they are coming back soon, very, very soon. Actually, there was a post on the Great British Hobbit League from Adam Troke, who's our fearless leader in this venture. He's Games Workshop's leading manager for the SBG, for the Middle Earth team there, and he did say that very soon we'll be seeing the books available again.
Really? Okay.
To buy.
Well, and that would be nice, because that was my one major gripe about getting in when I did, is you if you want just the Hobbit stuff, you're in pretty good shape.
That's right.
If you want ring wraiths and you want Moria orcs.
Steve, I can't believe that's a great point you just brought there. And I think I guess I don't see that anymore because I just have so many models, right? But as a newer person, you can collect what you want. It is such an easy system to collect for. What do you need? Buy a hero. Done. If you want some guys to hang out with him, go get some guys to hang out with him. And now you can go to another faction. It is so liberating. It's literally just split down between I want to collect evil models or I want to collect good models.
And, well, I mean, there is that, but also everybody wants to collect Smog.
Oh, you will be mine. Oh, yes, you will be mine. Can you name that film quote?
No.
No? How old are you again?
30.
That would be what? Wayne's World.
Oh, okay, well, I've seen Wayne's World. It's been a long time.
Oh, when Garth would look at the guitar. Not Garth, who was the other? Wayne. When Wayne would look at the guitar and you'd be like, oh.
Yeah, but the thing is, I would have seen it when I was like 3, 4.
Well, okay, fair enough, mate. Fair enough.
Back when Mike Myers was in things.
Well, there you go, guys. Another West Coast Hobbits delivery. And your channel.
Yes, and my channel. So thank you for watching. Again, please like, comment, subscribe here on YouTube, or if you happen to catch us in the podcast, we're on soundcloud.com/WSUJ Gaiden. The one, I guess, issue, though, if for just Hobbit subscribers, is the podcasts are kind of a combined podcast of various different topics and discussions in games. So it will not just be Hobbit.
But where there's a will, there's a way. If you would like Hobbit content all the time, send me money. I'll make it happen.
Send us money. We'll make it happen.
We will make it happen. I'll even share the money with him. And actually, Steve, just before we disappear today off the air, did you know that the West Coast Hobbits, we traveled to Victoria, the island of Victoria, on the weekend?
I did.
And we went there because there is one member of the West Coast Hobbits who lives on the island in Victoria, has no one to play with.
What was his name?
Simon.
Simon.
Awesome guy, fantastic guy. And so we went to, we ran an event, and by the end of the day, they now have a fledgling group of 5 SBG Hobbit players, and they're doing their own event in 3 weeks' time. So that's the newest addition to the West Coast Hobbit. So welcome, Victoria chapter.
I am no longer the newest addition to the West Coast Hobbits.
No, you was the first.
I was the
ever.
first.
You
Okay.
you will never lose that title.
Okay.
You was the first.
All right then.
Yeah.
Well, and I'd like to know. I'd like to get updates on that. I want to know if their community is still like continues to thrive, and maybe we can help promote them. Or
Yeah, and guys, I'm not very technical, so I'll have to ask the director here how to do it. But we'll try to put some links and some notes in the.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Excellent.
And I guess the only question about that trip then that remains is, how was the fish and chips?
Oh my God, amazing! Wow. Listen, I'm an Englishman. I've pretty much grown up on a steady diet of fish and chips. This was some bloody good fish and chips, mate. Simon, spot on, man. And you're not even an expat. You're not even an expat. Like you're expat.
Yeah, I know what expat is.
Ex-Englishman. Anyway, amazing. Just amazing. Go check him out. Just great.
All right then.
Yeah.
But again, thank you for watching, and check us out next time on our channel, Wargamers Shut Up and Jam Gaiden.
Come check out the Connection Games and Comics. We have the largest selection of War Machine and Hordes miniatures in the Lower Mainland. War Machine Wednesdays and Sundays, with tables and terrain to play your game.